Good morning, Algebra 2 students. This is Mr. Myers going over problem number 24 on Friday, February 5th, homework assignment from topic 2-6 in your textbook. Okay, so in this problem, they only asked us how many solutions. They did not ask us what are the solutions. They asked us just how many solutions. In this case, all we need is the discriminant. We don't need the whole quadratic formula. So I wrote on the right side of my whiteboard the quadratic formula. This is the whole quadratic formula. However, the discriminant is just the part of the quadratic formula that's underneath the radical sign. This is a very critical piece to the quadratic formula because it will tell us how many solutions we have. I want to refresh your memory that if the discriminant is equal to a positive number, we have two solutions. Because you can take the square root of any positive number. And if it's not a perfect square, it's going to be an irrational number, which means we can't write it as a fraction. And if we wrote it as a decimal, it's going to be a decimal that goes on forever, that does not repeat in any pattern. And so we can't write it out exactly. And that's often times why we leave that answer underneath the radical sign. Now, if our discriminant is 0, we have one solution. Because remember, we're adding and subtracting that to the rest of the equation. And when we do that, when you add or subtract 0, you're not changing the value, so there's only one answer. Now, if your discriminant is negative, you have two non-real number solutions. In other words, we're going to have a complex answer or a complex number. Okay, now that we have that, I just want to refresh your memory what A, B, and C are. A is the coefficient in front of the squared value. B is the coefficient in front of the x value. And remember, you need a minus or negative sign. You need that with the whole number if that number is negative. Same thing with C. If the constant value C has a negative or minus sign in front of that, it goes with the number when you plug it into the discriminant. So here we go. Now, you notice I'm not putting this equal to anything because the discriminant is not equal to anything. We are just checking. Is it positive? Is it 0? Is it negative? So our b squared is going to be negative 20 squared times 4 times our a value, which in this case is 3, times negative 7. Okay, once we get to this point, I can tell right now I have two real solutions. And the reason why I know I have two real solutions is that minus 4 times a times c, if that's a positive number, then you're going to be adding that to the b squared. And b squared is always going to be positive because when you square any number, it's always positive. Whether your base is a negative or a positive, when you multiply it, it's going to be positive. So a positive plus a positive equals a positive. Therefore, you have two real solutions. However, I do want to go ahead and do the math here to prove to you that it's going to be positive. So negative 20 squared is 400. And negative 4 times negative 7 is positive 28. And positive 28 times 3, well, 3 times 20 is 60, and 3 times 8 is 24. So 60 and 24 make 84. So we end up with the square root of 484. Now, this happens to be a perfect squared number. And if I remember correctly, I think that it is going to be, well, let's go ahead and use the calculator real quick because I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to remember what it is. It's 22. So you can take the square root of 484 and you get 22. But remember, when you take the square root, you get a plus or you get a minus. So that is what the discriminant is equal to. And since it's a positive number underneath the discriminant, we have two real solutions. Now, I just want to caution you when you're taking an assessment or you're doing a homework, read the instructions very carefully. If they ask you how many solutions, all you need to do is plug in your numbers into the discriminant and find out if it's positive, negative, or 0. And then if it's positive, you just have to report there's 2 real number solutions. If it's 0, you report there's 1 real number solution. And if it's negative, you can report there's 2 non-real number solutions, and you're done. Okay, I hope that helps you. You have a great day, and we'll see you in class.